I recollect a couple of years back being on the periphery of a conversation between a couple of HR directors. They were talking about the Myers-Briggs psychometric tests, which determine what kind of personality you are. This is big business. Big business in big business, because so much emphasis is placed on the kind of personality you are, the type of person you are in terms of how you'll blend into a team, whether you're a sales type person, whether you are an administrative type person. The Myers-Briggs test and tests like it actually determine, as I said a moment ago, what type of personality you are. Now, there are other videos and articles on this website in relation to the psychological ability that we all have to categorize. That is, from the age of about 12 to 18 months, we start pigeonholing people, so that in later life we don't have to evaluate who they really are. We simply say, oh yeah, that new person I've just met meets the attributes of this particular pigeonhole. We'll put him in there, we won't pay any attention to him, and we could actually, in the process, completely miss the fact that that person could potentially be extraordinarily important to us in our lives. Myers-Briggs and tests like them pigeonhole people, that's all they do. And unfortunately, big business places a huge emphasis on the labels placed on those pigeonholes. You're an awful lot more than your personality. You need to get out of your pigeonhole, and you need to ensure that those around you don't pigeonhole you. It really beggars belief, I have to say, that so much money is spent on pigeonholing people, when they could be so much more, when they could be led and encouraged and managed to be so much more, when real managers, real leaders could actually get so much more out of them. It's bizarre. You are so much more than your personality, because your personality is simply, and psychology proves this, a set of photographs that you took during your formative years, up to the age of about 11 and a half or 12, that gives you your impression of who you are, what you can do, and more importantly, what you can't do. We can all break out of that. There's no point, for example, in developing your personality. When I Google personality on the internet, the amount of websites and the amount of searches indeed for people looking to better their personality, develop their personality, determine what type of personality they have. It's all nonsense, because your personality is an illusion created by other people's misgivings about you, treatment of you, things they did for you and to you during your formative years. Now, that said, you do need to acknowledge how you are, who you are at this point in your life. Everybody needs to take one step back to evaluate the things and events and people that have moulded them into the personality that they now think they are. But the interesting thing that will emerge if you do take a little time to reflect on that key issue is that they are other events, other people, other things that happened to you during your formative years that have brought you to where you are and who you perceive yourself to be. That in itself is liberating, because you will, in that process, realise that your personality is not you. You should not be pigeonholed. You need to break free.